Hi, this is Camilla Kumara. I thought I would do a reflection video again. I wish I did these more often than I do. It's just that other things come before making these movies, but I do feel that it is an important part just to be able to speak like this and share my thoughts in the moment and connect with you this way. So I've been thinking about something that has come up during sessions and when I have been speaking with friends in the spiritual community and working with clients, and also different circumstances, but also what I have been reading online as well. So I want to share this from my own experience, but also from more than a decade of working with clients in energy work as well. When we do energy work, there is a part that I believe is sometimes forgotten. This is about energy work that you may be doing by yourself or out in nature, connecting with a sacred site or just any place in nature. It could be something connected with you being in a building, such as an old building, a church maybe, or a temple. It could be working with groups, facilitating energy work with groups and so on, and also with individuals. So any kind of energy work. There is this part, how I always start the energy work. And it's a part of setting first the intention, asking for the highest good. If there is a client, I ask for that this is for the highest good of the client. But in any circumstance, starting with an intention is always key. Then we begin with a very conscious alignment. So this is about connecting in with the highest possible dimensional energies that you are aware of, that you can reach, that you can connect with or to. And you connect with it and you ask it to come through you, as I do with the alignment. We both ground and center and ground deeply. And this is also very important part. You can do it in either order, connecting with the highest possible dimensional energies, and the grounding part, which is super important for the physical body and also for your well-being, your mental and emotional well-being. It's about being here, actually. But what I do wish to focus on today is not the grounding, because the grounding, I think, is just it's so well known. So I assume that every person who do energy work ground before. So what I want to speak about is, what is it that we actually connect with? When I do the alignment and I call in the highest light of God's source, or I may say Mother, Father, God, or source of all that is, and we connect through the galactic core and so on. But calling in the highest light is so important, because anything you do after that, or if you call in the Christ light and you ask for the presence of the keepers of the Christ light, of Yeshua, of Jesus, for example, anything that you do, you will be protected in that light. Because when you are aligned with the highest light of God, of Source God, nothing can really get to you. If you are in an environment, or if you facilitate a group, you really need to set that intention, because I see so often both people who have drawn upon them beings, lower dimensional beings, and they are not aware of it, or they have been working energetically with things, or connecting together in a group without any form at all, without any intention, without any boundaries whatsoever. And yeah, it's playful, and it's sort of an experience when you realize that you have these abilities to go through dimensions and so on, and it's exciting. But if you do it without intention, or if you do it without calling in that highest light, you're actually co-creating with the beings in the, say, fourth dimension, which is not a bad dimension. It's just that it's not a dimension that I would like to stay in afterwards. The fourth dimension has a lot to give us in forms of co-creations, and they have those beings in the fourth, and many elemental beings are amazing in what they do and how they hold the energy for the land and so on, and different also galactic energies or whatever. But they are not spiritually evolved in the highest light. So they will still have, just like we have, their own agendas or their own ways. So what we do is that we call in the highest light possible for us, the highest light that we can hold while we are grounded here. So we do that. And then if we are in a circumstance, say in nature, or in a building, or with a group, or working on distance with energy work, we can co-create, we can gather with all these different beings and spirits, and we can collaborate with them beautifully. But when we have set the space of this highest pure light of God's source and the Christ light in our hearts very clearly, we meet with all these beautiful beings in that light, and we co-create with them. So we draw in that highest pure light, highest possible for ourselves, because we are all different how much light we can actually hold in our energy field. So that's different between us, and you will get accustomed to holding it an even higher frequency. And you may have felt that almost like a pain when expanding, because you are bringing in more light and more light. So you get used to bringing in an even pure, higher frequency. And then you may co-create with all these beings and beautiful beings together in that frequency. You are not, from where you are in your everyday life, just jumping into something, because then most probably you're jumping into the fourth, which is not where you want to be. You want to be 5 or higher, because it will affect you afterwards. So what I see often as lacking is the knowledge of this difference in how to do it. There are those who have been in groups, courses, different retreats and so on, that have needed help afterwards, because there was this how to say, lack in understanding the importance of setting the intention. We can do all these different kinds of work: energy work, shadow work, work out in the land with mountains, and you can do work in caves, and you can do clearing works in churches or in old temples or different places. But we need to know where we aim, what we want to bring in first. And we need to know our stability. That is our grounding, our Mother Earth grounding. So we all from our hearts need to figure out, what am I doing this for, and why, and for whom? And that could be for myself, or for my soul group, or for the path, or for the world, and so on. And we need to figure that out, the why and the how. And then we can play and co-create and be together, and we can do wonderful things together, everyone sharing, as long as we go into the energies prepared. Otherwise, it's really easy that there is a part where the energy is leaking out, or something is leaking in. So when you do webinars with me, or you come to a group event, or we have session, you probably have noticed that I do things in a certain way. Some part of that I have learned myself from teachers along the way. Some parts I have just added because I've been guided by my guides. But the alignment, the centering, the grounding, the alignment, but to really call in the highest light, which is from God. And we may say source, or Mother, Father, God, but the highest is unified. It's not either or. It's not feminine or masculine. It's not only goddess. It's not only God as the masculine God. God is the whole, the one, the oneness, the one. It's not masculine or feminine. It's both. Just as the beautiful original translation, the Aramaic translation of the prayer. The original translation of what in English I believe it's called the Lord's Prayer, but the original translation from Aramaic is directed towards a unified energy that would be something like the cosmic birth giver. It's both mother and father. So this is the unified energy, the energy that we all come from, the energy that we carry inside, that is the most pure fire within us, the spark within us. And this is what we align with. And with the Christed light, nothing can come through when we are in that state. So this was the topic that I wanted to speak about because I think it's important. And I haven't said that much about it before. But I think this is the time to start being more clear or authentic with what I see. And what I see is missing or forgotten in the new spirituality community. It's really not to just run around and play. We can play, but we need to know what we're doing. We need to know that we're connecting with the light. And that is important. And not to be afraid to connect with that light. Some beautiful teachers or therapists call it, energetic hygiene, and it's a bit part of the topic to know the importance of clearing your own energy field, not to walk into a room or client meeting perhaps and carrying a lot of baggage, for instance, or to the importance of clearing afterwards and so on. And it is really important. But this is another aspect of it. This is more about deciding what you are doing, making the clear choice of this is what I work for, this is what I create for. And then the alignment starts to show you back. You will receive something back. The universe will show you in that sense. And I would also like to say, this is another one that's a little bit tricky to say, but we all can say no to be the person, incarnated person, the soul, who needs to transform everything for everyone or for everything. I will give you an example. When you hold light, so I will give you an example. when you start doing energy work and you have these gifts, psychic gifts, not everyone, but some seems to appear as like lighthouses, walking around, showing that I have these gifts. If you contact me, I will help you. So if you have that way of showing yourself interdimensionally, you will be contacted by all these different spirits and energies when you enter an old building or an old place where a lot of things have happened, or if you come to a site, or and so on. And for some, I hear this is going on 24/7. So they are contacted all the time by different beings, by different places, even on distance. Everyone needs help for clearing, going to the light, and so on. And doing this service to the whole, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And there's many light workers, many psychics, many mediums, many healers who do this every single day. And it's a huge task. But I think it's time to say that we can actually say no. We cannot help every single spirit, and we cannot help every place by ourselves. There is a greater community, and if you don't have the energy, someone else will hear that call. You are not unique in hearing. I am not unique in hearing. If I don't feel I have the energy to do something that I hear, I know that someone else will pick up that thread, because I have that faith in the wholeness. I have that faith in how everything works. I am not unique, and you are not unique in that sense. We are all unique in how we do things, perhaps, but we are not unique in being able to support or help. We are many. So really, there is no need to be burned out. There is no need to take on the pains of every single being who have ever lived on earth. It's just too much. Or we need to find another way of working, clearing many parts at the same time, which I believe is possible. So that is the other part. It's okay to say no when you're exhausted. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, now I am available, but right now I'm not really available because I need to do this. I need to be by myself for a little while. I need to be with my family or something like that. I'm not on work right now. I do hold space all the time for the whole of it anyway. These are just some thoughts about energy work that I felt I needed to share them, because it's something that I see regularly. And I always feel a bit, I feel unease when I see that there are beautiful souls, beautiful persons who suffer because there is a bit of there has been a missing part in the energy work, and it's often about knowledge and understanding. We are all learning all the time, me included. We are all learning and we are all evolving. And I think that is also what came through when I wrote Voice of Mary, the book. That is really about evolving, about finding love and forgiveness and hope and everything that strengthens us, and then to find that sense of strength and also responsibility, and then the development, evolving to aim for something, to set the intention that I will be creating and functioning from the basis of the law of the light, and nothing else will have that power over me, because this is who I am and this is what I'm aimed towards, and I would take responsibility for my choices and for my patterns and unknown shadow parts that pops up. I take responsibility and I work with them, and I play and I co-create, but I have the intention of that I'm coming from that highest light, and this is what I aim towards. Thank you for listening. Sending so much love to all of you. See you soon. Bye.